Hello guys, my name is Bonaventure Chukudi, the founder of Bonaventure Tech Hub, a tech company that teaches people how to code. So today we are going to learn about modules and JavaScript and NodeJs. So first of all, we'll begin by creating a new folder. Let's call it NodeJs modules. NodeJs modules. So you can open it up in your editor, code editor, or IDE. So I'm using Visual Studio Code. I'm going to make it this way so that we can all see. Yes, I trust this auto. So first of all, let's create a new file and call it index.js. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we can all see. So this is our main file. So let's just console.log um, one plus 1 plus 1. So this is like an operation we want to perform. And so let's see our terminal. You can go over here, click here to open new terminal, or you can press Ctrl Shift I. So you can run this code by doing node index.js and it's going to console.log too. So what of period where you want to make it you don't want to repeat the algorithm every time. You just want to just use it as a function. So so what we do is to create a function like this. You can create a function. You can call it add. I can take in the first parameter, let's call it x, and take in y. We can actually return x plus y. Doing this, we can use this function in this way by doing add. You can console.log add. You can add 2 and 5. And once you do that and run our code, you are going to get 7. Understand that? Going to get 7. So now, if you notice something, we are using it here, but there are some, and it's working very well. So we can have just one file that contains the code we need for our website or for whatever we are building. You understand that? However, sometimes it gets very big, it gets very lengthy, and it is advisable you break it into different parts or different files so you understand what you're doing, so you understand how the files are arranged, so you can understand it and work on it in the nearest future, because it might get confusing if you leave everything in one file. So JavaScript has what they call, or Node.js has what they call modules, what we call modules. Modules are essentially files such as this that contain code that you can use in other um, in other files. For instance, this add, you can actually come over here, create a new function, a new file, call it add.js, or you can call it maths.js. You see? So inside this maths.js, let's say you want to perform different operations like add, add, subtract, etc. So let's say you create another function. Let's call it subtract. Let's call it subs. So x minus y. You know, x minus y, and you can come over here and let's console.log. So x minus y. So to run this code, we need to do node maths.js Sorry, that's an error. It's not supposed to be might. It's supposed to be node maths like this. The JS. It runs our code. Sorry, it's supposed to be solves. What am I doing? So let's clear our console. To clear our console, you can just use clear or just CLS. So we can write node maths.js and it runs our code. So let's say you want to make use of these functions in different files, and also you want to make use of it in different files, you can come over here and use the keyword called module. So module dot, so it has different methods. Understand that? Module dot export, module dot export. You can export this as an object. Understand? Remember object. So add. You can do this and subs. You can do this. However, this is redundant. You don't need to actually do this. Since they are the same name, you can just take away one and take away the other, and it's going to work very well. So this is it. Now this is it. Now we can come over here and get rid of this and import. Import is just like declaring a variable, you and the variable would be pointing at, let's say, a function or another variable in another file or module. To do that, we can just do constant. So we can bring in add and subs. So we don't really need to type it here. We can just do equal to require another keyword, require keyword. It's used to bring in the file. So they are in the same directory, that is in the same folder. So you can bring it like this. If they are not in the same folder, you use dot dot then slash the folder name slash whatever. So if you come over here inside the object, you can hold your control and the shift and you find your add. You can hold control and shift and find the next one, subs. Now to use it, we can do console.log add. So you can see it tells us x any y any, it can be any number. So 2 5 add. Let's save it and run our code instead of node.math.js. Since we are now our code is now being run from index.js, you can now do node index.js like this, and it works. It gives us 7. Understand that? We can do the same thing for subs, console.log subs 6 and 9. Understand? So let's run our code. Node index.js -3. Okay, so this is how you use your modules in JavaScript. Now you can, it's not only functions that you can export. You can export any data type. So let's say we create a new folder here and call it data. Understand? Inside this folder, the data folder, we can create another file and call it variables. Let's call it variables.js. Understand? Now, inside the variables.js, let's just create some variables. Now, when you're creating some variables, things that you don't really want to change, let's say your email as an R as a data string of string as a data type of string. So let's say some at gmail.com. You can even have likes, like an array. You can have an array of your football, um, food, um, drinks, things you like. You know. You can also have You can have you can pass other things like number. You can pass 289. So this number you don't want to, or let's say pass pin pin. Your pin is 2899 and you don't want to, declare it there. You can just use it as a variable. Now you can export this as a module.export. You can export just one. You can even export only email like this. You can export only email. You don't need to do this, but you can do it if you want. You can export email, only email like this. So when you export only email to use it in index, remember index.js is in, look at how they are structured. Variables is inside data and index.js is in the parent folder. So you can actually bring in your variable of email. So you can bring in, instead of using this, you don't do that. Remember, you are not exporting it as an object, you are just exporting it as a string. You understand that? As something that stands alone. We call it a default object. Yes, you're exporting it like this. So you can come over here. Instead of doing this, you don't do this. You bring in your email. You can even rename it if you like. When you export it as default like this, you can even rename it over here and call it, say, some my email. You can call it my email and then bring it from using, you bring it using require. So it lives in a different folder here. So first of all, we put our quotation, then we are going into data, then into variables. Understand? Into variables. Now you can console.log my email to see it. So let's do that. You see it's some email. Understand? So you mustn't use the name here. You mustn't import the name as this. So when you are importing it as a default. But however, you can actually do this. You can actually do this module.export object. You can do this and export likes and pin. Understand? Now when we come over here, you can do this. You can do that. Sorry, my bad. So you can do this. So we are going into data variables. Understand? So we can go into data variables and you know um come here, hit our we can get, sorry, um let's take this away so we can, and also take this away so we can come over here, bring in our likes and I'll bring in our pin. Understand? So we can console.log. And when you want to console, you mustn't really console only strings. You can even console objects like this, likes. Remember, you don't need to do this. Understand? Unless they have different names, likes and then pin. You can do this and run your code. Once you run your code, you get likes. Like is an array and pin is a number. So guys, this is how to use modules in JavaScript. So let's say you have you have another object, another folder. Let's call it utilities, And inside your utilities, you have a file called arithmetic.js. And inside the arithmetic, you want to actually make use of what is inside here. You can come over here and do this. What's inside variables? So when we inside variables, we are exporting like something. And come over here and bring in. Now notice they have different folders, right? Different folders. So to access what's inside here from arithmetic, you do this. You use double full stop, double period, then you get into data, then before you get into variables. Then also here, then you hold your control and shift, then likes, you bring in your pin. When you console.log this, console.log likes and pin. So to access what's inside, to call what's inside here, you need to do cd into utilities. Then you can run node arithmetic.js, and it works. Okay, so guys, this is the end of this tutorial. Hit the like button and subscribe. You can come back for more content that are easy to grasp like this. See you.